The child. Experience of reconciliation with the past. Clarification. We try to highlight the initial registers of injustice, which is why the scene is framed in the childhood. The current feeling of injustice is compared with those initial experiences to find a relationship that allows to integrate these apparently separated contents in the same system of understanding. The intention is to get rid of negative feelings that by self-pity limit the behavior in relationships. It is early in the morning as I walk through the countryside, feeling happy and at peace. Up ahead, I see a stone building that seems to be very old. Its ancient roof is also made of stone, and along the front stand large marble columns. As I near the building, I can see it has a massive metal door. Suddenly, I am surprised when two ferocious beasts charge toward me from one side of the building. Fortunately, they're held back by strong chains that stop them just out of reach. I can't approach the door without being attacked by the animals, so I throw them a sack of food. The beasts eagerly devour the food and soon fall fast asleep. Approaching the door, I inspect it carefully, but I cannot find a door handle or any other way to open it. Nevertheless, I push gently, and the door swings open with an ancient creaking sound. A long, softly lit room opens before me. I cannot see to the end, but on the left and right are life-size paintings that reach nearly to the floor. Each portrays a different scene. The first, on my left, depicts a magician seated behind a table spread with cards, dice, and other games of chance. My gaze is drawn to this character's curious hat. I try to run my finger over the hat in the painting, but feel no resistance to my touch. Instead, my arm enters right into the picture. So I go ahead and put one leg and then my whole body into the painting. Raising a hand, the magician exclaims, "Not so fast. You can't come unless you pay admission." Searching through my pockets, I pull out a small crystalline sphere, which I give to the trickster. The colorful character nods, and I enter. It is night, and I find myself in an amusement park. Everywhere I see mechanical rides filled with light and movement, but I do not see any people. Then I discover a child about 10 years old who is facing away from me. As I move closer, the youngster turns to look at me, and I realize it is myself when I was that age. "What are you doing here?" I ask. The child tells me something about an injustice that has happened, and then he begins to cry. To console the child, I promise that we'll go on some rides, but the youngster insists on talking about the injustice. In order to better understand the child, I try to recall what happened to me at that age that was so unfair. Now I remember that injustice, and somehow I realize it's like a situation I am experiencing in my life right now. I reflect on this, but the child continues to cry. So I say, all right then, I am going to straighten out this injustice that seems to keep happening to me. To begin with, I will be friendly toward the people who are creating the situation for me. I notice that the youngster is now laughing. With an affectionate pat, I say that we will be seeing each other again. Saying goodbye, the child goes away very happy. I leave the amusement park, passing beside the magician, who gives me a quick sidelong glance. As I go by, I brush against his hat, prompting a playful wink from this extraordinary character. I emerge from the painting, and once again I find myself in the long room. Walking slowly, I cross the room and go through the door. Outside, the animals remain fast asleep, and I pass between them without fear. The magnificent day greets me. I make my way back across the open fields, whistling and singing, with the sensation that at last I understand a situation that has been a burden to me for a very long time. Recommendation. It is important to recognize in everyday life situations in which you are subjected to certain injustices. It will be necessary to ask yourself what kind of injustice you suffer, especially if most of them refer to the same kind of situations or if they are linked to the same kind of people. With these ideas in mind, it will not be difficult to find a close link with childhood experiences. Regarding reconciliation with the people who have produced such injustices, it is not an easy task, and such a proposal elicits strong reactions. However, the overcoming of these resistances in daily life by repeating this guided experience can open new possibilities of behavior and approach in our relationships.